Kazuul's Fury back into our hand. So we need the Crusader to deal that damage there, or the Vortex, and bingo bango bongo. That is a very merry good game. And hey everybody, welcome back, and thanks so much for taking the time out of your day to watch Hello Good Game. Today we're back with another Magic the Gathering Arena video, playing Rakdos. If you're new to the game, Rakdos refers to the color combination of red and black within the same deck. We are playing an aggro style variant, so looking to deal as much damage as quickly as possible, while actually, using our own life points as resources, trying to drop those as low to the ground as we can, possibly go while still surviving, to take advantage of the one and only Scourge of the Skyclaves. Now, its power and toughness are equal to the highest life total between the two players, which is pretty cool, right? So 20 minus the total life total of the highest of the two players. So if you can, get both of your lives down to 10, that's going to be a 10-10, in which point we do look to fling it or give it flying, something like this, some form of evasion or direct damage to close out the game. So if you're interested in this deck, we're going to break it down. If you're not looking to learn all about the deck tech, the strategies, the synergies, all of the cards, why they were chosen to be included in the first place, jump right into the gameplay footage. You can do that with the slider bar down below. With that being said, if you guys do find any value within the video, please give it a like, one thumbs up. If you don't like what you find, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for even more content. We do have the 500,000 gem giveaway going on. We've got I don't even know how to describe it. We're giving away more gems and time. Each person will get 30 minutes of one-on-one time with me, so that's pretty cool. So all that and more once you subscribe and join our Discord. With that being said, if you want to support financially, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member and gain access to exclusive content. Blah 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 blah. Let's get right into the deck, you guys. This is Wayward's Embrace. Wayward Guide-Beast is a sleeper. This is a 1-drop with trample and haste. That's a 2/2. That's pretty crazy. There's supposed to be a downside here that when it does deal combat damage to a player, you have to bounce a land you control back to your hand. We take that from a negative and turn it into a positive. So, we have the MDFC lands within the deck. We can play them as the lands and then later on bounce them back to our hands and then replay it as the instant or sorcery or creature, whatever it happens to be. So the Wayward Guide-Beast opens up so many possibilities with the MDFCs. It's not even funny. Now, breaking down the MDFCs in the deck, we have 4 copies of Agadeem's Awakening for 3+X to return from our graveyard to the battlefield any number of target creatures that each have different converted mana costs of X or less. We only have converted mana cost creatures 3 or less in the deck, so we will only be casting the Awakening for a total of 6 to bring back a 1-drop, a 2-drop, and a 3-drop, which is really, really cool. And typically, we'll bring back a Charger, Scourge of the Skyclaves, and a Murderous Rider or a Nighthawk Scavenger, depending, maybe even a Bonecrusher Giant. The 3-drop's kind of up in the air what you take there. And again, this is just a great way to flood the field with 3 creatures that have high impact on the game. More MDFCs within the Shatterskull Hammer Pass, coming in tapped unless we pay 3 life, just like the Awakening. The Shatterskull Smashing, which is on the reverse side of the Hammer Pass, at sorcery speed for 2 mana plus X, dealing X damage divided as we choose among up to 2 target creatures and or planeswalkers. If X is 6 or more, the Smashing deals twice that damage instead, which is really, really cool. So, this is a great way to pay life, to bring our life total down from 20, like I said, to make the most out of the Scourge of the Skyclaves, which we'll touch on in a second if you're unfamiliar. And then, using the Guide-Beast to bounce it back to our hand is absolutely amazing. So it's a land early on, it's removal later on, absolutely amazing. We also have 4 copies of Kazuul's Fury and the Cliffs. Cliffs comes in tapped, and the Fury for 3 at instant speed, making us sacrifice a creature as an additional cost to cast the spell, dealing damage equal to the sacrificed creature's power to any target. So, we're talking about getting the Skyclaves in, doing damage to our opponent, dealing damage to ourselves, and then we can fling the Skyclave, hopefully, for lethal in on to our opponent, which is a lot of fun. But it's not just the Skyclave that we can fling. We can also fling the Fireblade Charger, which is a 1/1, you can deal 1 damage with the fling through its power. You can deal 1 damage now through the Charger's ability. What's better yet is when we start powering it up with things like our Demonic Embrace. This is a enchantment for 3. Enchanted creature gets +3/+1, has flying, and is a demon in addition to its other types. We may cast the Embrace from our graveyard by paying 3 life and discarding a card in addition to paying its other costs. That's amazing because, you know, this can go right onto our Charger. The Charger has evasion, is hitting for 4, plus when it dies, it hits for another 4. Plus, we can use Kazuul's Fury to fling it and hit for another 4. That is a lot of damage for not much mana. So really cool things available there via the Fireblade Charger. Rounding out the deck, you know, we do also have some form of reliable chip damage to deal damage both to our opponents and ourselves through things like the Roiling Vortex, an enchantment for 2, and at the beginning of your upkeep or each player's upkeep, Roiling Vortex will deal 1 damage to that player, whoever's upkeep it is, right? So whenever a player casts a spell, if no mana was cast to spend the spell, Roiling Vortex will deal 5 damage to that player. You know, it does happen, it's rare. This is more of a sideboard feature, but in best of 1, you know, you can get really lucky and have that pop off, and, you know, that's going to win you the game in itself. Many people are unaware of it. They're not going to be reading it, so they're just going to, you know, think they've got a free cast and go for it, which is really cool. So, you know, this is a great way to shut down copies, for example. Moving on, the Stormfist Crusader is another really reliable way to shut down your opponent's health points, take them down from 20, as well as your own. A 2/2 with menace, so, you know, it can get around those blockers. And at the beginning of upkeep, each player draws a card and loses 1 life. So not only is this our draw engine, but it's also our chip damage engine. So alongside the Roiling Vortex, we should be able to deal 2 damage to each player every single turn, powering up our Scourge of the Skyclaves. Not to mention we have the Smashing and the Awakening if we need to pay even more life. Speaking of paying life, we mentioned the Demonic Embrace. If we're playing it from our library, or sorry, from our graveyard, we're paying 3 life and discarding. We also have the Murderous Rider's Swift End for 3 at instant speed to destroy target creature or planeswalker, losing 2 life in the process. It is itself a creature of power 2 and toughness 3 lifelink, and when it dies, it goes to the bottom of our library, which is quite nice. So, you know, we do look to deal a lot of damage to ourselves, but we also need to be in control of our health points, right? We don't want to go too far and allow our opponent to have the advantage. So we do work in life gain through things like the Rider and the Midnight, or the Nighthawk Scavenger, sorry. Its power is equal to 1 plus the number of card types among cards in our opponent's graveyard. So, you know, creature, enchantment, land, so on and so forth, planeswalker. It can be a maximum of an 8/3, which is pretty crazy, with flying, death touch, and lifelink. So again, just using the lifelink to mitigate our life loss and try to balance it equal to our opponents, because, you know, it's 20 minus the highest player's life, and, you know, there's no need for our life to be drastically lower than theirs. We just kind of want to lower them together and then just get that last strike in, if that makes sense. We've got some forms of removal within the deck. Bonecrusher Giant Stomp, damage can't be prevented this turn, dealing 2 damage to any target. So, you know, worst case scenario, we stomp ourselves. Best case scenario, we stomp our opponents and maybe remove one of their creatures to open up our attacking lanes. The Bonecrusher Giant is a 4/3, and whenever it becomes a target of a spell, it will deal 2 damage to that spell's controller. So if your opponent uses removal on it, so they don't want to take the 4, they're still taking damage, which still really, really helps our Scourge of the Skyclaves. On the note of removal, we have 2 copies of Bloodchief's Thirst, a 1-drop sorcery speed, destroy target creature or planeswalker with converted mana cost 2 or less. If this spell was kicked, instead destroy target creature or planeswalker with no limitations on the converted mana cost. The kicker, of course, is 3/+1 for a total of 4, needing 2 black sources to cast it, so keep note on that. I believe now that we've talked about every single card, we can break down the land. 2 Castle Locthwains, you know, pay 4, draw a card, lose number equal to the number of cards in your hand. 7 Swamps, 4 Mountains, so, you know, pretty light on the lands, only sitting at 13. I know you're thinking I'm crazy, but do remember our MDFCs. We have 12 of which, so, you know, that does balance it out quite a bit. And bouncing your Wayward Guide-Beasts lands is great as well, because we're running very aggro, so if you're not drawing a land, it's not really a problem, because, you know, you can spend the mana, bounce the land, replay the land, and then spend that same mana again, which is really, really cool. So, with that all out of the way, you guys, you know, drain your opponent's life total down from 20 to 0 as fast as you can. That's your main objective. Your second objective is to try to drain yours down alongside them or just behind them, right? Have one more life than them, maybe, right? That's a good rule of thumb. And then, you know, you're just controlling the whole situation. You both go down, and you just make sure you get lethal by always having a little bit more life than them. And we can do this quite easily. If both players are down to 10, the Skyclaves at 10-10, we can fling it for lethal for 5. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Thanks for your time and attention. Again, you guys, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and myself and the community will do our best to help guide you in the right direction. Of course, if you found any value, please like, comment, subscribe, share the channel to a friend. Don't miss out on our 500,000 gem giveaway and free cash prize monthly artisan and brawl tournaments. Let's get into the gameplay footage, and we'll be back to wrap up with our final thoughts. Take care. Well, I guess we just treat this as a mono black hand. It's silly, but whatever. Flips in tapped. That's actually not so bad. Robert does some damage to us, which is great. We need to hit them, though. Let's just take the robber. Interesting. Nice death touch here. Also life gain, which we don't need, but we can pay life for the awakening. Ooh. Nice. It's not equipment, sadly, it's an aura, but whatever. So much removal. We can stomp them, turn it to 6/6s. Just a double flame spill. Dirty dog. Alright, Charger. We have to block it. Let's just play it. They have to block, or else it gets even stronger. They should probably just block it. Right? We have the defender anyways, so... Oof. It's an 8/8. We can take it to 11. Really quite close. They're having a little think-sees. They probably have it. They're going to take 2 damage if they target the Bonecrusher Giant, though. And that puts it to, you know, the 10, and then from 10 to 13, so... They can't target the Bonecrusher Giant, or we have lethal. Their best bet would just be to send it to our face, right? Dome in. They have 4 mana. They get play to 5. Okay, they do take the 2 damage. That takes it to a 10-10. And we give it flying. And we bash home for a massive hit. Woof. We go first. The land is not there, so we have to toss it. This is a lot better. Let's toss the beast. Comes right back. That's funny. Crusader probably gets blasted. Always. We'll use our giant here on their giant, or our rider on their giant. Jesus. We take 4 for it, but still is removed. So we can play our Charger on our end step. Or our second main phase, I guess. Charger in play, and then we can probably Demonic Embrace the Charger. I mean, it's not a great spot. Okay. They probably have more removal, so let's try to pull it on the beast. No. It's like you get to play it for free. Almost. Let's just put more creatures in play. Heartless Act on the Rider, back into our library. They want to keep our life total all whacked out. 2 mana, could still be a Bonecrusher Giant, so play the Scavenger. That's a high priority. Bounce the land, replay it in untapped. Oh! The last Bloodchief. Check this move out. This is going to be a lot of fun. Let's stomp it. Attack. It should still block the Scavenger. It doesn't. It doesn't. We bounce the land. You think they would have learned about this mountain already, and then we get to stomp again. That's awesome. Woof. How's that for a playline? I absolutely love it. They're like, what is up with this beast? But they still have to go elsewhere. We're sitting on lethal. No, never mind. Well, yeah, I mean, we still are. GG. Nice win. Our opponent goes first, and Simba thinks that this hand sucks. Hey, Timmy Bean. Hand's not very good, mister. But I don't want to throw it. And I'm just going to hope they don't have removal. It's always a red deck in best of 1. Or mono white life gain. Interesting. Okay. I'll bite. I'll bite. Maybe we can sit on the Fury. Oh. Always stomp, right? There's always a stomp in someone's hands. If it's not theirs, it's ours. Which I actually don't mind if it's ours, so... You know, removing one of their best cards. And actually, oddly... Oh, we got 2 of them. Wow. What an opening hand you have, sir. Take the hit, they can't block. And then they can just attack through this, because it's going to be a 3-3. They probably also have Exile on it, which is just so sad. Makes me want to write a blues single. Yeah, I know. You could be blueshing us all day. There's that Exile we're talking about, right? Big woofs, and we got a couple gifted subs in chat. Thank you, Earl. Really appreciate that. Bleep, bloop, blop. We don't pull a land. We're at 17, they're 18, so we can do some fun stuff here. Coming up, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Scourge in play. This is the Wayward Guide-Beast in play. We hit for 3, right? That puts us to a 3-3, and we bounce the mountain. One of our favorite plays. Absolutely loving it. They are stuck on land. They took their opening hand because they had 2 land and 2 Luminarch Aspirants. I get it. I get it, but by them attacking us, we're at a 5-5 now. And, you know, we may as well send that in there. Change it to a 7-7. Right? And then we can hit for 10 more. Bounce the land. I wish we had another Bonecrusher Giant, but, you know, that's a lot of damage. And it's to the point that they need to defend, right? They need to wipe the board, which they, you know, bricked on land for a turn, so that's probably not going to happen. Good stuff like this, right? Double strike, that's pretty cool, right? I don't know how it's going to stop the 7-7, but, you know, it's a start. We can't find land, but this needs to be exiled immediately. And it's like, how do you not deal with that? Like, they have to block this with 1. We just go all in, don't we? Just full kamikaze. Right? Engaged berserker mode. Absolutely amazing. Big woofs. Alright, we get an additional damage in. You know, we remove one of their creatures. Double strike's still in play. Don't care for it, but, you know, we have 13 life plus a defender, so how will they exile the defender and, you know, get, like, +4, +5. Okay, so there's the exile. They take the Skyclaves, which is great, but, you know, again, it's to a point. Where's that land? We cannot find it. I guess we just go all in. Right? The haste attacker is nice. We just go around them, which is pretty easy. And of course, they can't block the Charger, and they also can't let it through. So the Crusader works them into an unwinnable position with the Charger because they took the Skyclave instead of the Apparition. So good times. We go first. The hand doesn't look great, but it actually doesn't look that bad. We're just playing slow, and we're on the play. So that's pretty cool, right? So no harm, no foul. Oh, and we get land. Can the Crusader survive? I don't think I've had a game where this survives. Like, it's just removed, removed, removed. Oh, interesting. I take the Charger. That's actually not bad for us because it does the 1 damage anyways. We are ready to rip here. It's a 1/1. It's weak AF. But we have Murderous Rider. That's going to deal 2 damage to us. We have the Crusader, continuously dealing 1 damage to us. Underworld Dreams does damage to us. Nice. I love it. This is ideal. Absolutely, we will do all of the above. Let's pile on. You know what I mean? You say jump, I say how high. You know, absolutely crazy. So we take, you know, an additional 2 damage on our upkeep, which is great. 3 with the Vortex. We lose our Skyclave. How dare you do this to us? The double draw is just going to pull us through, though. Land in play. Guide-Beast out. Hit for 4. Kazuul's Fury back into our hand. And we can recast it. Shh. So we need the Crusader to deal that damage there. Or the Vortex and Bingo Bango Bongo. That is a very merry good game. And, you know, Rakdos chip damage is getting tuned in. That's a 3-game win streak within Mythic so far. So, slow start, but we're turning on the jets. Okay. Hand's not great. We're playing slow. We have a Crusader, which basically makes it worth it. In tapped. Crusader up next. That's going to bring us both down from 20, which is quite nice. We can pay additional life with the Awakening to keep us balanced with the damage we'll be doing with our Crusader. Shrines. Paying 3 life. Embrace on our Crusader. If we can get our opponent down to 1, we can fling for 5 for lethal. If we pull our beloved Scourge, right? Nice. Let's just dump our mana with the Scavenger. That way we can play a Scavenger or an Embrace alongside a Guild-Beast next turn. So for 4, we can hit for 5 in the air. Which is not that bad, right? So they're tapped here, right? And we don't really care about having to replay a land, so Guide-Beast in play. Embrace on the Guide-Beast. And these are big boy hits, right? Woof, woof, baby. Just bounce the Swamp because it comes in untapped. And immediately replay it because we didn't play a land that turn. Easy. Calm Waters is the best shrine. You know, that draw is just so deadly. Okay, okay. Nice. We still have a hit for 5 and then lethal for 2. Which we have to wait till next turn, but... Yup. I guess we can discard our Awakening. Doesn't much matter. Smack, smack, smack. And we'll do the exact same thing we did last time. Easy. Let's find another answer. And then we just have lethal in hand, hopefully. I mean, Shrines was an easier deck to beat here, I think, for us. They did exile, and they did shatter, though, so... It's not like we went uncontended. Alright, there's the removal. Good game. Nice. We go first, and I guess the land does look good. We have to pay life for it, but whatever. That's the name of the game here, isn't it? Let's just sneak the Vortex in play. We'll use our Embrace if we can pull a Swamp. If not, probably just our Giant. I'm gonna attack with the Charger, and then Bone Crush the Crab, if I can. 2 lands off the top, and a Charger. Let's just grab the Scavenger in case it is a rogue deck. That way they have to deal with it before they start playing these weird rogues. We're at 40 cards, that's fine. The damage is going to be an issue. Let's just deal with it now. We'll take our attack. It could be a Thought Thief. It's probably a counterspell, but let's just try to get the defender in play. Yeah, drown in the lock. Gross. What? Here goes our entire deck. How do they get 3 Skyclaves in a row? Wow. That's ridiculous. Try to pull out the rest of their counter magic. And we got the 4th right off the top after. That's psycho. Like, all of those Skyclaves were right together. Seven here. But it's easily removed, which makes me so sad. Is that their 3rd Fable Passage? 2nd? It's still ridiculous. It's still way too much, right? Nothing I want to be involved with. Three cards in hand. We're fine unless they cast Into the Story. And if they do, that's game. Are they going to exile our Embrace? Yeah, they definitely are. Spending their mana, though, might be a blessing for us. Oh, rogues. Rogues, rogues, rogues. Sleep, sleep, sleep. Sleep, sleep, sleep. I can't believe it took them that long to find it. Alright, 1 mana down. 2 more down. They're just gonna mill us. We're down to 28. It's gonna be very, very awkward. Let's kill the Enforcer. He's got Death Touch. You gotta deal with it. Goes up to an 8/8 here. They should be out of removal. Keyword should be. Of course, they never are. Ugh, they burn our removal. They're gonna take our Embrace again. Wow. This should only take them 45 minutes to decide. Just take a Skyclave. Just take a Skyclave! It's like, are they gonna read every single one of my cards? They take the Embrace? I guess. I hope I top deck removal so I can laugh. No. Dumb rogues. So this hand is super awkward, but, you know, at least the land's there. Yorion. Hopefully we can just fling our face off, right? Get them down to 10. Have this at 5 or something, then fling. It's a little awkward off the start, but I'd still like to get it in play. It's a good hit. They have to make a good play here. Right? Wow. Interesting. We hit for 8, and then we have another 4. No, we hit for 4, and then we have 8 for 12. This takes us to 14. So it's not lethal yet. We're better off just to hold. Alright, so we're doing this now. Hitting our opponent. Sacking our charger. That way we deal 4 damage. And another 4 like we were talking about from the Fury or the Cliffs, whichever you want to call it. The MDFC. Which is pretty good, right? So it is our end step. Let's get Castle in play. They're down to 7, right? This is pretty close. It's within striking distance, that's for sure. Like, if we can pick up our Scourge, it's going to be a 6/6, so even that gets basically there. Cap, but they make a 3/3 to defend with. With reach as well.
I call, and Ikoria answers.
We have trample, but it'll die. If they have more removal, we're screwed. Let's pull the removal. Right? That's definitely something you remove. We can play the Fury to equip the Embrace, maybe? It gives us still 2 mana to play the Skyclaves, and then we can bounce the Fury back. But it's got reach, so that's actually, you know, what's holding us up. But the trample will still get the damage through to bounce it back. So that's probably our route here, I think. It's really, really awkward for them.
We will adapt to
I want to pull their removal, use their mana on the Scavenger. They don't bite. I'm going to reveal our play here. It's a casual 6/6. They know we have the Fury, so the removal is going to come out. It has to hit the Skyclave. But now we're in a spot where, you know, we're equally as screwed, I guess, but... Yeah, it is there. Shoot. I guess we should have held it. I just wanted to go for it. But we have to burn it out eventually. I thought they would have played it on the Stormfist Crusader, is the thing. So they have to remove it now. -2 for Skyclave. Right, we're gonna get exiled here. Nice. I did not expect Hysterics. Pope Kranos play. Yikes. I can fight the Crusader. 6/6 with reach is also real good. What is happening? Alright. Nice. We're gonna hold up the Fury when they remove us. Double nice. Wow. We have our backs against the wall, ladies and gentlemen. This is not good.
Not scared of dogs, are ya?
There's no fight effect here, so we can do a chump block. Right? We also have Death Touch, which is real nice, so there's no real attacks. Wow. Okay. They have 3 reach creatures, so the menace doesn't work. We could take a draw and lose a bunch of life. That'll equal our death, though. Another Kazuul's Fury. We are so close. LOL. They have too much reach. That's what's stopping us here. That Vivian has absolutely shut us down. We need, like, another red source is the thing. I don't know, man. It's not looking good. Yeah, here comes the minus. Down to 3. If the Crusader can survive... Right, we'll stop... No, it's just good game. That's lethal. I don't even have to add that up to know it's lethal. Right. Even if we did stop both 6s, we get hit for 3, 6, 9. Yeah, that's... We're getting close, but getting shut down just barely. Alrighty, big woofs. We had a 0.00081% chance to have that mill happen, or, you know, have the 3 copies of the Nighthawk Scavengers all stuck together, and then the one right beside it. So, you know, the chances on that were insane, and, you know, I think the deck works. It's a bit of a meme deck. It isn't super competitive. It's just, there's so much mono red, and, you know, you think that would be good because they're dealing damage to you, but they run Bonecrusher Giant, and Bonecrusher Giant stomps on the Stormfist Crusader. It stomps on the Beast. It's very sad, right? Yes, we can get around that, you know, with our life gain to beat them sometimes, but not even just mono red. There's so much removal in general, and I don't know what it is about Stormfist Crusader, but it is just a magnet. It's like she's holding up that big electric kite for removal. You know what I mean? So I sometimes have bad luck with it, but I still think the deck is relatively decent. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, of course, and we'll be back with another video soon. Take care. Enjoy, you know, your days on these lovely holiday seasons, and we'll see you soon with another video. Take care.